Okay, welcome to the man cave. Getting ready for Baja. So we're just moving the bikes around and I noticed this vehicle. Wonder what that could be. Looky there. Hi. Need help with that, or can you bring it over here?
I'm fine, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias, amigo.
No problem.
All right, got some new tires for the motociclette.
Oh yeah, nice.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you Spanish or am I just
Both. I'm both.
both
Yeah.
Spanish and Indian, or?
Spanish and no, I'm Mexican and
All right. Mi llamas es Miguel.
Omar.
Omar, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I was expecting those.
Yeah, nice.
All right. All right. New rubber for the 690. If I can't even get this stuff out of the plastic, how am I ever gonna replace it on my own? Okay. So that's the Dunlop Rally Raid. I like Dunlops. When I flat track, I use Dunlops a lot. They were a sponsor. Go. I got to get the bike up on this. So I don't want to bust these tires myself. I'm going to go ahead and let Billy at Eurosports, he's a national championship trials rider, do them in his shop. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this bike up off the ground and I'll pull the wheels. Is I'll take my Baja toolkit. These are the parts, the tools I'll be taking with me. All right, so okay, that fits that. What's on the other side? Not much. So well, that's interesting. The wrench is bending. You see that, guys? See that? So it may be lightweight, but maybe I've got this on too tight. So let's pull this off. Looks like I'll be getting a new wrench. Maybe I've already got one. Let's look. Because I think I bought some stuff. Well, here. So let's go over here. Look in my wrenches. Somewhere I bought me, is this guy here? This puppy won't bend. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so that's a negatory on the now I could probably use this cheap little thing, pound it back into shape just to move it around. Okay, so there's a little cap on the axle, and I'm going to get a tray. You notice that the KTM, their axles are all hollow. On all the Japanese bikes are solid. So I need something to whack this out, so this wrench does a good job of that too. Get out far enough where I can pull it off on this side. Slides right out like a new bike should. Put that in that tray. Scooch the wheel forward. Now I'll be changing the sprocket too as part of this whole exercise. But there we go. This guy's off. We'll set him aside. So what do I have? This is a 45 tooth sprocket. Now its stock is a 1545. I currently have a 14 tooth countershaft sprocket, and I'm going to be putting on a 16 tooth to get more mileage. All right, so let's move to the front. So these are all the extra KTM parts that we took off when I first got the bike, in case you're wondering. All right, same deal. We need to get, it looks like, some 10mm sockets or the Torx. Let's try that kit. No, that doesn't fit there. So why do they give it to us? We don't know. Here's another one. Let's see if that works. No, that's too loose. So, when in doubt, I decided to, again, I bought this Motion Pro, I think. Well, it says Bike Master on it. And one of these guys ought to work. I think it's a 10. Oh, but let's get our handy dandy universal metric. Isn't that interesting? It actually has metric on one side and has inches on the other. I like this wrench. If I remember right, this thing cost almost $30 at a true value. So, to change the front, this is the first time I've done this, guys, really. So, you're seeing it first time with me. I'm going to take this wrench, which I'll be carrying with me now, and loosen this guy up. Yeah, it looks like it's got a hollow part. And, yep. So the pinch bolts. Oh, where's the wrench? There it is. I'll be traveling with him. And loosen the pinch bolts up. Now, theoretically, oops, I'm getting used to this camera, by the way, so sometimes I'm not realizing where I'm pointing. My other camera system, which is a Coleman Conquest, was a lot easier. That's that thing right there. At least the waterproof enclosure is a little bit more intuitive as far as if you have to point something somewhere. All right, so if I was to put this, no, let's see, how do we do this? I'm going to need something. Oh, look how easy that moves. Wow. Wow. Look at that. That was like effortless. And slide it straight forward out of the calipers. There you go. Oop. Now both wheels off the 690, and we're off to the motorcycle shop. So let me think. We can either take the Corvette, but it's buried, and the truck is in the shop getting new shock absorbers. So I guess I'll have to ask the wife if I can borrow her Lincoln. All right. Okay, we're back. 690 doesn't have any wheels on it. It's because it's over at Eurosports getting some new skins put on it. So what I'm going to do is, this is the stock sprocket that came on the Countershaft Sprocket that came on the bike. I went to a 14-tooth sprocket so it would go better over rocks and things, going slow, so the idle speed was, you know, closer to about 5 miles an hour rather than 7 miles an hour. But now we're going to go down to Baja, and we want a little bit more gas mileage and cruising speed, so I'm going to go to a 16-tooth, and so that's what that is. So let's get started. And by the way, I did find those other wrenches I was looking for to help loosen up the axle bolts. This one is an alloy, it's really light. This one is steel, really heavy. maybe if you're going to pop a tire, you're going to want the steel. But my crescent wrench is doing a really good job. So let's continue on. Looks like I need some 8mm socket. Oops. Is that an 8? It is. So this is pretty straightforward, just a couple bolts. Oh, really? That one's a 10? Okay. Let's put that 8 right there. Okay. Put the 10 right there. No chance of getting those mixed up. And let's see, we've got a little tab that was that we bent down before. Over on this side, on that side. And if I was in the field, I'd probably take this screwdriver, right? Put the flat spot on it. See if I can't make that. Oops. I'll take this big wrench. Well, I was kind of hoping I could just do this without whipping out the hammer. There we go. And I'll go to something a little bit flatter, like maybe this, to bend it down. Okay, so one of these wrenches I've got, let's see if that's the right one. It is. Now normally you should loosen this up by putting the brake on it, and I'll pop it in gear. I don't think I have this super tight. Normally I'd put the, there we go, get some sort of compression going on it. Don't like to put a lot of strain on the clutch or whatever, but this will get it rolling here. I'm so close to the edge of the stand here, so I'm having trouble getting enough of a throw on the nut. There we go. And I'm going to get another one of these nuts, I think, carry with me. They're they're a light alloy, typical of KTM's aggressive goal to lighten up their motorcycles, and that's why they're so good and why they're so expensive. Is they keep looking for ways to lose weight. This thing weighs almost nothing, but because it's alloy, it might get worn off quicker. And also want to get the spare washer, lock washer. And okay, so let's slide this guy out. There we go. Now the stock Sprocket has some rubber around on it for the chain to rest on to make it less noisy. You can see it says 15 right there. And the 14 and 16 don't. And if you try to find the 16, it won't show up in the catalog. I think KTM only shows it as being, or maybe it's the 14 they don't show on the catalog. So I'm going to put the chain on first and see if I can't find where it's, get it started. Come on. You can do it. Take the chain off. Let's see if I can do without the effect of the chain on it first. And then there we go. And there we go. And well, this is interesting. The sprocket actually, see this little piece of plastic sitting here? It actually is rubbing on that. Is that the way it's supposed to be? I have to talk to my buddy Ron. But it seems to be nice and clear from that. So let's go ahead and put the... Ron's been doing this nice and successfully on his, so... I figure I can get away with it on mine. And I'm not too sure Ken, he bought his 690, and I don't know if he's changed the sprockets at all. But this should help us get our cruising speed would be lower, right? Now, I could make life a lot easier and just get myself a sprocket out of my toolbox. Yeah, this tool, I don't know what you're going to do with that. So knowing that I can I'm going to get me a 27 socket. have to struggle with it, right? There's one right there. There's a lever. Now Ron, he got a 27 sprocket from Motion Pro that he's taken with him on his ride, so he can change the sprocket in the field very easily. That's how this stuff. I don't know what that is. And there we go. You see it right there. And I'll bring that down. I'll start out with my screwdriver. Give myself a little bit of room over here. This is not a very good screwdriver for this sort of stuff. So, rather than muck up my screwdriver, I'll go ahead and get shop tools. Let's get a bigger. I gave it a whirl. Got a hammer. Get ourselves a that looks like a good one. So I hope when I'm down there, I'm not going to be wanting the lower gearing. And we're going to have a support truck, so it's not really a super gnarly type adventure that we're going on. It just kind of, I mean, because we're going to have a chase truck, and we're going to have a medic, and on the chase truck, the so that won't turn any. And then we're going to have a mechanic. I'm going to use this little flat on this part. There we go. Okay. So let's put the cover back on. You know, guys, if you think you don't like my videos, you don't have to watch them. I had some guys call up and call me names and said I'm asking questions like a 6-year-old, you know, from my dealer, but I don't, you know, first time you have a bike, you want to ask all the stupid questions you can. I did that in college too. If I didn't totally understand limits and calculus or something like that, I sat in the front row and I made sure that the professor explained it to me until I really knew it, because I was getting my money's worth out of it. And although I'm sure I can figure it out myself somewhere or another. I don't know why I'd have to. You know, and then some other guys And you know, generally guys who complain they don't have any videos on their site, and yet they're like fictitious names like John Smith. And then they started ragging about how the dealer ripped us off on our motorcycles and, you know, that sort of stuff. So I just took those comments down. Be civil. Can't provide something for the other guys that are on the channel. You know, don't comment. I mean, you're gonna say, hey, I learned this about it, and you can be helpful to everybody. And because I learned a lot about oil and gas mixtures, what other people were doing. Maybe sometimes the best way you can get people to help you is you act like you don't know anything, and then they'll come out, and then you kind of weed through the good stuff and the bad stuff, and choose the part that makes you feel more comfortable and whatever matches your style. Okay, so that's on there. Now I think I'm kind of wondering if we've got some really trick orange guards that go here, and they do supply another chain guide for the 690 that goes here if you want to leave this open, say for competition. But I'd prefer to keep it closed. I was in the Mint 400 once, and it was on a Montesa. We'd had an open countershaft sprocket on the other side, and the Kickstarter was right next to it. And my partner who was out running it, and this is a Mint 400 that Malcolm Smith won and on his Husky. And my friend, the chain had broken and it kept falling down, and he couldn't get the shift lever, which is on the right-hand side on the Montesa. Kept reaching down, and he goes and sticks his finger down there, and he gets it caught in there, and he chopped off his fingers right here. So I prefer to keep that thing on. And I'm just partial to keeping my fingers. All right, so now I just need to wait for a call to get the wheels and get that put back on, and then I'll pop the seat. I got some more stuff that just came in over there from Redzilla, and I want to put a USB port wiring on here. So let's hold off for now. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching so far. Okay, Deacon, let's go hop in KTM hauler. So you won't need the ramp, but what the heck? We'll go by and get the beer. Let's go get Billy some beer. Oh, wouldn't it be kind of funny to get him some Billy Bob beer. Okay, you stay here. Hi there. Let's see, where's the bud? let's get him a 12 pack of Bud Lights. Yeah, that's Manning likes these, right? Hey, pardon the camera. I'm just doing a little video. I got a motorcycle mechanic. I told him to go get a 6-pack of beer before I go pick up the wheels he's swapping out. So I'm just recording, buying him beer.
Nice.
And then that's why I thought I'd get some Manning beer, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was one of the most awkward things I've ever seen.
I know. And you get a military discount too, right?
I did.
Thank you. Okay, Deacon Hill. Need a tinkle? Okay, come on. Yoo-hoo! It's just me.
I'll let you go on, I need to.
It's nice having new skins, huh? Excellent.
What side is the sprocket on?
It's on the left. Yeah, looking toward the front. Do they have an orientation? So these must be what he's putting in. Heavy duty tubes. Yay. These are all made in Germany. It appears, says made in DE. And so this, well, what's really interesting, it's an orange and blue sunset. So it matches the orange and blue on my racing stripes. So for those listening to this camera, I'm talking to Ron in Illinois, and he says it's dark and 15 degrees out there. So, okay, we got the old rear, new front. Sorry, Yamaha. leave things up there. Here we go. Okay. Old front. Oh, these are heavy. New rear. So these are new skins. There's the Dunlop Rally Raid D908RR. It's got this really bold middle cross section compared to the Pirelli Rallycross tires. And I kind of thinking that the Rallycross look better for street than this one does, but this is the one that's paired on the 21 to the rear. So anyway, maybe one of my buds would like this tire in case theirs will get all worn out. So let's go ahead and put them on real fast. I'll start with the front. Okay, we were just at Bill's place, Eurosports, and this comes out so nice and easy. And he's got like 35 pounds in here. So, maybe I should leave that with the higher weight or the pressure. There we go. This is so easy. I mean, it's because it's brand new, basically. I mean, if there we go. So I just push that in by hand. It's in all the way. Grab my socket, wherever that was at. Let's go over here. This is pushed in all the way, so we'll tighten the pinch bolt. Oh, tighten the pinch bolts down first. That's just snug, by the way. And I'll tighten this in. Here's a bendy wrench, which I'm going to discard. So the one I could be carrying is this guy. There we go. And, put it on here. Now, if when I road raced, and one dream I had was, by the way, to road race Daytona, and I was able to do that in 2000. But we had to safety wire everything, so this would be one of the things that I would probably have safety wired if I was had a road racer or sport bike nowadays. But I don't race anymore. Going fast is for younger men. All right. I would have to say though, I don't really like. Let's see, I'm carrying an extra 10 wrench. Let me see if that fits on this at all. Barely. Just want to be a little more straight in line. When you tighten one, the other one has a tendency to loosen up. Okay, let's up. Okay, that part's good. All right, take our tools. Deacon found the mat. Find your slide. And you know, Deacon, you can stay right there. That's a good spot. You're nice and close to me, and I appreciate that. Okay, so as you just heard when I was driving here, that Ron had said that the change from a 14 to a, or 16 to a 14 involves 4 turns on the adjuster. Now you're probably saying, well, why don't you just adjust it and be gone with it? The reason we came up with this formula is we wanted to be able to, while we're on the trail, change the sprockets really fast without having to think about it, and then just go for it, you know. Start bringing them in or out based upon the number of turns. So that was the deal. So I'll do that right now. We'll try out Ron's theory. And I'll need a marker. Right back. Okay, so I'm going to mark this guy right here. And we want to have it end up exactly that same spot, right? So I'm going to screw it in. Well, that sucks. You can't do it that way because I just... Alright, so much for that idea. Because the mark I made went off. So that only works, I guess, if you're holding it onto it with a wrench and not your fat little fingers. Let me see if I can find that mark again. No. Oh well, so let's do this. I'll what if I do like right there? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that down so it doesn't move anymore. And we'll just see if I'm able to get the chain on with it being at 4. Over here. One, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm kind of curious. You know, this one looks like there's more threads on it than this side. So let's actually measure that puppy. Not that puppy. Yes. Okay. All right. So from that nut to the head of this nut is, I always zero it out. We want metric. 5.37 millimeters. And that's 7 millimeters. So slight distance, and I'm going to assume that KTM had these things measured like right on the button. So this is 5.5. I'm going to do that. Oh, how do you get to 4? Now it's at 6. Back this one off just a little bit. .63. All right, and I can count 1, 2, 3 and a half. 1, 2, 3. That's fairly close. That's closer than it was before. So let's just see where that ends up looking. And of course, we'll check the chain slap with the directions that are on the bottom of the seat. So these O-ring chains are really stiff. Go. And I may want to lower the bike down a little bit. Then I don't have to lift so high. Okay, I've got the calipers in there now. Chain is on. We just need to find the hole. Tear off just a little bit. Nope. Okay. And this end here goes to the outside. I'll do the same over here. There's two ways this go in. The countersink goes on the outside, or to that, but let me leave that off for a second. So I screw this in. Ron went so far as to actually make a gauge. There you go, that's easy. Okay, make a gauge that would measure the distance from here to the center of the pivot. Now, I thought that was a little bit anal, but he's like perfect alignment. All right, so with the now the directions say, let me pull this thing off. In fact, all the stuff's oh, actually, I can I'm adjusting the chain tension based upon this little decal that's on the bottom of the seat. 30 millimeters in from this guy here, and for 5 millimeters clearance with it sitting on the stand. And so you can see, and so right there is my little mark, and it looks like about 5 millimeters. And then to make sure both sides are the same, you see that little mark there and the way that little cutout is from that edge, about 1 millimeter away. Same thing over here. It's about the same distance, about 1 millimeter away. So now we got the new skins, and we're good to go. I'll Do more work tomorrow. Thank you.